So on Thursday the 30th of May 2024 I drove from Abington Services all the way to the top of Scotland to a place called Scrabster to catch my ferry home to Orkney. I did a live stream, watch that above my head, it's about 7 hours long, lots of silly chat, and during the live stream I was asked lots of questions, so it really helped the time to go. But if you don't want to watch 7 hours of footage, watch this next 38 minutes for all the juicy bits. So 304 miles to get to Scrabster to catch my ferry home. 306 on the guessometer. I say guessometer, that's a bit of an injustice on the Kia E-Niro because the estimator is always so accurate. The guessometers come from the days of the Nissan Leaf and the Mitsubishi i-MiEV and all the early EVs. But Kia, Hyundai and Tesla have got the whole guessometer off to a T, so we shouldn't really call it a GOM anymore. It should just be called a very accurate range calculator as to how far you'll go. Does depend, of course, on how you drive, wind, rain, temperature, etc, etc. So I get all that, but you can input your own sort of eco ways of driving. Obviously, if you drive at 80 miles an hour in any vehicle, you're going to chomp through energy a lot faster than if you drive at 55, 60. So I'm going to drive as economically as possible and as safely as possible. But also, the thing I love about the Niro is the flappy paddles. So the best way to drive an E-Niro or any EV where you can adjust the regen is to drive at 0 regen when you're on the flat. So when you adjust your foot and you lift off, you don't lose any speed, because any amount of energy you gain is invariably lost with it transferring the energy from the regen to the motor and into the battery. It's lost. It's such a tiny amount, and in effect you're slowing the vehicle down. So to keep that momentum and that freewheeling aspect, although you're not freewheeling, you're still in control of the vehicle, it's best to have 0 regen on long flat drives. Now when you're coming down a hill, obviously you're not going to touch the brakes, you're going to add a little bit of regen, and the great thing about the Niro is you can adjust it from 1 to 3, and even holding in the left paddle, holding it in towards the steering wheel, will actually bring the car to stop. Right, I'm off. And you can see the beautiful Abington. Stayed there in the Days Inn, good place to stop.
In a quarter mile, leave the roundabout at the 4th exit.
Apple green chargers on the left. On the right, the new Tesla superchargers are going in. They're all covered. They're not working at the moment, which will upset the Tesla Arti. But just down there, look, beyond that container, they look like version 4s. They look a lot taller. Right, it's going to take around 6 hours. Now I can't guarantee I'm going to have a 4G connection over the Cairngorms, so my bladder range is around 3 hours, which is realistically around, oh, MG4s, nice, and in this scenario, it's around
now leave the roundabout
150 miles or 3 hours. So I will be stopping for a comfort break at some point. Right, turn the regen off, which I've just done. It's just on auto, and yeah, just enjoy this stunning morning. Oh, let's just do
keep straight on this road.
Right, yeah, shut up. 13 degrees. There's very little wind, although the wind will be coming from the north. I looked at the forecast last night. So yeah. And I'm sitting now at 59 miles per hour. Oh, it's the RZ450E. What a stupid name. Yeah, it's electric, so I'll give it that. Yeah, there's 2, 3 electric, 4. Well, there's quite a few on there. It's nice to see. 60 miles an hour, or for you watchers in Europe, that's 100 kilometers per hour. I'm going to leave it set at 60. So good old Hamilton Services is on my left. I think they've only got, yeah, they've still got 1 electric highway rapid. But this service is on the left now. Old Inns is where I had to put a 3-pin plug through a window of the cafeteria when I was racing James and Kate And James didn't let me forget that and still reminds me of that. But it was good fun. Right, back up to 5 miles per kilowatt hour, folks. 262 miles to go, 271 on the gasometer. I've got 9 miles in hand. You're only doing 60 miles an hour. I can't go any faster. I'm in traffic. I don't want to go any faster. And it's choice at the end of the day. It's a choice whether you get an EV. It's a choice about how fast you want to drive. But do you know what? There's not a massive difference between 70 and 60 in arriving at a destination in this sort of traffic. But there is a massive difference in consumption of your electrons. So if you can, and if you want to, and if you want to see 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour, which is what I'm seeing now, then set the cruise at 50. At 60 miles an hour and do 53 because of traffic.
Leave at the second exit.
So we're heading for Perth on the A9. So I'm going to press the circle on the steering wheel. I'm going to pull the left-hand paddle for a bit of regen. And get ready with the right-hand paddle to take the regen off. Right, there's nothing coming. Take the regen off, squeeze the throttle. I gained half a mile then. I've been driving for 1 hour 23 minutes. And my bladder's fine. Update on the bladder. Update on the bladder range. I'm fine. Really wanted to know that, didn't you? So that's my secret weapon, folks. Courtesy of Shoreham Auctions is a little metal flask filled with some fresh Abington water. So that is going to be my hydration for the trip. Oh, we charge electric cars on the side. That's cool. Will I be needing the RAC truck? Let's back off a bit. No, best not. That's one behind me. Oh, you get these. I'm going to pull in behind him. Recharge electric cars. Good old RAC. Is that a good thing or not? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I gained a mile in range from just regen braking towards this island. Well, earlier we were following an AA van, an RAC truck that said I charge electric vehicles. Now I'm following something called the Honey Wagon Co. Luxury Loo Hire. That's awesome. I think someone's having a laugh with me today. If you don't need a charge, JP, you need our luxury loo hire. So I've got everything going for me. I've got warm temperatures, no headwind, and I'm following a mobile toilet. Yeah, it was the first bit of dual carriageway. You watch Mr. Mercedes. There he goes. And he's 220 diesel. You muppet. Followed by a Volkswagen. You see, there we go. It just emphasises the mentality of German manufactured drivers. Hey ho, calm down. Followed by another Volkswagen Scirocco. Followed by I couldn't have written this. A Volkswagen Golf Estate TDI. Look at this though. Yeah, we're close to Pitlochry. Could go to Pitlochry. Don't want to. I'm going to stop at Storehouse of Fowls, which is just over the Cromarty Bridge, because they do nice food there. And that's probably, I'll probably be reaching my limit. That's probably 3-4 hours into my drive, and I should stop for something to eat. But the purpose of this is just to show that EVs can do big miles without stopping. If you change your mindset, if you drive them correctly, which is fun, and if you stick to the speed limit, which is 60 on this road, the A9. I'm just starting to get the inclination. My bladder is just saying hello, which is good for me. 2 hours 35 minutes into my trip, just starting to get the call of nature. but not desperate yet. But the more I talk about it, the more the brain's going to send messages to my body, and that might speed up the next 20 minutes. There's another toilet place. I'll get reminders for the toilet. There's a truck there that empties portable loos, and I'm following a portable loo. I don't need the toilet yet. You see, you've now gone and said rivers and babbling brooks, and do you know what? That call to nature is now suddenly in the front of my head. Thanks a lot. Right, 2 hours 47 minutes. Yeah. Might have to be a lay-by. And this is the other downfall of the A9, there's not a lot of places to stop to use the bathroom. And this is the point where you go, really should have stopped in Pitlochry. But I didn't want to wee in Pitlochry. I want to need a wee now. I've now got 171 miles to go with 177. So it's now gone down to 6 miles. And that's because we've been climbing through the Cairngorms. We've still got another good 20 odd miles of steady climb through the Cairngorm Mountains, and then it starts to drop down, and that's when that cushion will increase from 6 miles that it is now back up to 11, or if not possibly more. Welcome to the Highlands, laddie. Why is it when you want to go to the toilet you keep seeing rivers and streams? The Highland Gateway Centre, 2 miles, called Ryla. That's where I've stopped, that's where we're going. It's not that far off the A9. Is it here or is it next to ours? Oh, I can't remember. I think it is here. I think it's here. I think this road bends round to the right. Is it 2 miles or not? This doesn't feel right. It really doesn't feel right. Let's just go to the end. Caravan sign. No, it's not. I've turned off too early. Oh, you nutty. You absolute nutty. It's not here. I know it's not. Joys of...
In a quarter mile, turn left onto A9.
Yeah, I think it's further down the road. But do you know what? You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking? Exciting YouTube content. Oh, I have got some wet wipes before you all moan at me. Right, let's get going.
Straight on this
There
road.
it is, look, you see, it's just gone on another half a mile. I saw a brown sign and just went for it, didn't I? But there you go, so it's half a mile away. Now down there is a really nice round cafe with some toilets, but hey, I saved myself 50p. So it's not everything's lost, no one got upset. And interestingly, if I'm halfway, I've got 55% battery left, so there you go. For all intents and purposes, I should get to Scrabster with 5%, which in this will equate to around about 10-15 miles. 50% battery, 147 mile range, 137 to go. I've got 10 miles in hand exactly. I'm not going to stop at the storehouse for something to eat. I'm going to go hungry for you guys, okay? To make a point. I'm going to keep driving. And if my wife finds out, she'll tell me off. But she never watches these videos, so she will never know. So between you and me, I stopped and had a 4-course meal, alright, in case she asks. But this is nothing to what me and Chris did. Where are we? Nearly 10 years ago, 9 years ago this September, when we drove from John O'Groats to Land's End, and then turned around, spent 40 minutes at Land's End, turned around, drove back to John O'Groats in a 24 kilowatt hour Leaf. It took us 56 hours and we didn't sleep. That was stupid. It's looking a bit blacker for Bill's mother's. Right, 111 miles to go, 131 on the gasometer, 20-mile buffer, folks. Anyway, it's this place on the right with a blue sign coming up now. Great place to eat. I'm sacrificing a lovely meal there for the sake of EV take-up, and there's charges free. Hey-ho. You'll thank me later. Oh, look, an Audi driver. An Audi driver pulling in behind the BMW. Why? Why? What's the point? There's dozens of cars in front. There's articulated lorries in front of those cars. Why? Maybe you've got a pregnant woman on the back seat and you're rushing to the local hospital. I'll give you that then. You absolute muppet. Again, Audi driver, BMW. Look at all the traffic. Can you see the traffic on the street in front of this white Audi? I bet he'll pull out again in a minute. Well, I'm going to have a bit
For
of fun.
the next 6 miles, keep straight on this road.
Burn some electrons. And I am now pushing the Audi, who is kicking out horrendous clouds of stinky stuff out the back end. Look, I can catch him up. The road ends up here, so I'm going to pull in. No point being silly. So, quick update, 34% battery. I think I lost a few electrons up that hill. 103 on the gasometer, because the dash is still saying 5.2 miles per kilowatt hour. Been driving 4 hours and 47 minutes. Stopped once for a wee down that lane. The bladder's fine. I'm in a 16 to 17,000 pound electric vehicle that does a genuine 300 mile range. There we go, 33%, 101 mile range left. That's 303 possible, fully charged. 5.2 miles per kilowatt hour average since I left Abington this morning at 8:30. Scotland is beautiful, period. I can see the sea. The sea's now in front of us to the right. This is one of the last places to fill up with petrol. There's this place here on the right, an old Vauxhall garage, and there's another place on the left. That's it, all the way up to Thurso. So from here, another 50 miles is the next petrol station. So plenty of ICE drivers do get range anxiety, because if you don't fill up here and you run out between here and Thurso, you've got no chance. But there's plenty of charges between here and Thurso. Just saying. Diesel 155, petrol and leaded 152. 46 miles to go, 71 in the tank at 23%. Now, our next port of call is Helmsdale. And do you know what? I do need a wee. I've got an hour to go, and it's only a couple of 100 yards off the beaten track.
In a quarter mile, turn half right onto Berriedale Road.
I'm going for a wee. Just thought I'd share that with you. If you've got a smaller battery EV, this is a good place to stop. Is Helmsdale. Nice fish and chip shop down here. But I do know if I leave it any longer, there's not really anywhere for me to stop between now and Scrabster. So, and it's just down here, it's a couple hundred yards to the public toilets. Here on the right,
now turn right,
is Le Mirage, that does amazing fish and chips and salad and stuff. It's ridiculously cheap, great value. I'm going to pull in here for a wee. Charger is just behind that camper, but I'm not charging. I'm discharging from what I need. Oh, blue card bad holders only. Oh, right, let's not take up the disabled parking space, Portfield. Let's be a good lad. Right, folks, to bear with, well, JP goes to answer the call of nature. Oh, right. I love this live stream. Thanks, JP. It takes you back to happier times travelling for work. All right. Sharing is caring. I'm discharging. There was someone along in a minute to tell you their diesel can do 900 miles uphill non-stop. Yeah, you're not right there. Not wrong there. Wait a bit. Right. Be back in 5 minutes. I'll give you a wave out the front of the windscreen. Oh, so I went to the new toilets and they're all locked up. What's the point of having public toilets if they're locked? So I had to leg it down the road to the cafe, which I've used before, so they were fine. Hey, and relax. Estimated time arrival 3:10. I've lost 10 minutes. 22% battery, 70 miles range. 44 miles to go. Do you know the singer Edwyn Collins?
now turn left and then turn half right.
Lives in Helmsdale and hails from Helmsdale. Edwyn Collins. Never knew a girl like you before. Him. So I've had to stop twice. The car's not had to stop. Right, here we go. Berriedale. Low gear for 1 mile. 13% decline. So we're at 18%, 55 miles left. I'm going to use my flappy paddles to control the speed. Remember that, 18 and 55. Half a mile added. Not touching the brakes. Bloke behind, he's probably getting very hot brakes by now. I've followed cars down here in the past and you can actually smell the brake material, or their clutches, or both. 2 miles range added already. I've harvested back 18%, 57 miles range. 2.7 miles added. 2.9. 3 miles range added. All the way down to sea level, but we are going to go up the other side. 58 miles range added total. Added 3.8, 3.9, 4.1, 4.4, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, and now I'm at the bottom. 4.8 miles range added from going down the hill, not using my brakes. 19%, 58 miles on the gasometer, with 34 to go. Bit of a climb up the other side. 33 miles to go, 52 left. 19 mile range buffer. But I also do something in real time, because I still get accused of making it up or being an EV evangelist. But you know, you can do long trips in a £18,000 3-year-old electric vehicle. without having to stop and charge. I've had multiple opportunities today to stop, have a cup of tea or a glass of water, top up, and then be on my way. But to answer all that criticism about EVs not in range, I've decided not to stop and charge, to see if I could do the 305 miles from Abington Services to Scrabster to catch my ferry home. But I've done this drive in pure EV vehicles over the last 10 years over 60 times, in everything from 50-mile range EVs to Teslas to this with a genuine 300-mile range. Just to recap, 281 miles is what I've done so far today. 281 miles, I've got 49 miles left. Totally lost all 4G for like the last 10 minutes. I still think I'll get there with between 10 and 12 miles range left, and I will then top up at the rapid charger because I've got to drive about 15 miles to get home. I'll say again, used, these are great buys. So this used E-Niro came with a 7-year bumper-to-bumper warranty. I've had this car for 3 years and I have got 4 years warranty left. Just to tell you, I've now got low EV battery warning has just flashed up on the screen. 8% left, 24 miles range left. I've got 12 to go. I think I'm going to be spot on. I've averaged 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour. I've been driving for 6.5 hours. I've done 303 miles. So when I do a video, if anyone says to you EVs can't go far and they can't do long trips, send them my video. Really glad I've done this. Hopefully this can be a bit of a benchmark for people that think you've got to spend £100,000 to have an EV that does over 300 miles. No, you haven't. Buy a second-hand one with 4 years warranty remaining that does a genuine 320 miles. Done. So Julie's from there. Right, turtle modes, just come on. 5%. Interesting. But we had 5% with 12 miles. So that's what a lot of manufacturers do. They put this horror into you to like, I've got no range left. But the last figure I saw was 12 miles with 4 miles to go. So yeah, I think we'll be fine. 4%. So 100% I'm doing 300 miles. So 4% is like 3 4s then, isn't it? 12 miles. Got 2 miles to go, which is 10, which is what I predicted. See the beauty that is my dashboard. Got Mr. Turtle, 4% battery, 2.5 miles to go. Easy on the throttle.
In half a mile, turn right.
Take all the regen off. So we just sort of go down here on a whiff of throttle. I don't want any drag. So there is a rapid just here on the right at that Park Hotel. Yeah, and that's working. But I'm going past that rapid. I'm going to charge up.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Trail Street.
Stromness. Scrabster. Right, green is good. Keep the momentum going. Just let it drift. Red traffic lights ahead. Just let momentum carry it on its own. Tiny bit of throttle, not too much. 2 miles away. 311 total today.
Now turn right.
I will. This is the beautiful town of Thurso, with its beautifully grey brickwork. And the people here are lovely, but the buildings are a bit, yeah. It just looks tired, like any of these old fishing towns. 1/10 of a mile gained there. Right, 1.8 miles, folks. 4% battery, still in turtle mode, although it's still accelerating. Keep everything smooth, easy does it. You've got literally
in half a mile, turn half right.
3 or 4 minutes to see if I reach the rapid charger at the docks. Keep tuning in. 46 people watching. Isn't this great YouTube content? Not fix this. I've not set it up. It still could all go terribly wrong. No range indicated. 4%. Someone asked earlier.
In a quarter mile, turn half right onto A9.
Someone asked earlier, I've overtaken it down to nothing. And I said I haven't, but I think today could be the first day. Although it's still showing 4%. 4% is 4%. 4% is not 3%, or 2 or 1. Right, got a bit of a hill down here. So turn in right. I can see the port. I can almost smell the rapid.
Now turn half right.
Half right, half left. Right, come on, Peugeot. I want some momentum.
For the next 1 mile, keep straight on this road.
I'm just trying to add a bit of jeopardy to this stream, just so you keep watching. But genuinely, 4%. 1 mile to go. It's 16 minutes past 3. I've been driving for 6 hours and 50 minutes. I've done 312.2 miles, 0.3 miles, and I've averaged 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour. I love this car. 14 degrees temperature, bit of a headwind, no rain, no heater on, no aircon on because I've not needed it. Would have been different, admittedly, if I'd had to have the heat on. The heat pump and the resistor heater that it's got, as well as the heat pump. But I would have put my heated seats on, heated steering wheel, pressed a button that just heats the driver's area. But I'm really pleased about this. Good old E-Niro. This would suit so many petrol drivers who are happy to sit in a seat for 6 hours and 51 minutes. I had to stop twice for a wee. 3% battery. Come on. Now 3%. I might lose the signal as we pull up to the car park because the 4G is a bit dodgy where I queue. So if I disappear, it's not that I've run out of charge, but I will come back, or I will video the final results if this stream disappears. Alright. But this is it. This is the last bit. This is the drive up to the ferry. You
have reached your destination.
I've reached my destination. which is just in front. Some massive wind turbines there, look, stacked up. But that is the Northlink ferry terminal, and I'm going to drive around the edge of the car park, and I'm going to rack up to the Charge Place Scotland Rapid, that of course will be working fine. But if not, I've got options. There's people here, there's plugs here, there's 3-pin plugs. I've got 3 hours, 2 green lights are on. Here we go. Come on. Who is the master, folks? Yes, come on. Right, I'm going to gloat for a bit now. Totally gloat. Really pleased with the car. So let's have a look at the final stats for you 61 lovely people watching. I've arrived with 3%. I'm here at Scrabster. There's my Rapid. And there is, let's unplug the cable, I need to charge it. There's the Northlink ferry terminal. And behind me is where the queue to get on the boats. So yeah, 3% left. But this is the interesting bit, folks. Since I left this morning, 313.5 miles. And with 3% left, I reckon that's around 10 miles range left. In turtle mode, 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour. This thing is awesome. Right, let me just flick round to the other stats for the whole trip of me going down. So you've just got this thing here, how I've been driving. There we go. Since I left Orkney last week, 1,347 miles, 0.3 miles. I've averaged 4.7 miles per kilowatt hour. I've been driving for a total of 31 hours and 46 minutes. So although this has been a heavily edited video to get 7 hours of footage into about 38 minutes, I will put on the screen now this screenshot from my Kia app, which shows me that I turned the car on at 22 minutes past 8 and I turned it off at 3 minutes past 2, which is when I was in Helmsdale, and I turned the car off, and you can see that on the video. And then at 8 minutes past 2, 14:08, I started the car again. So that's a 5-minute window. And when it was parked up, I was facing the street, so I wasn't plugged into a Rapid. It's just to prove that I did the whole trip just on one single charge. So if you want to watch the full live stream, watch that video. And if you want to know how much all that public charging cost me, watch that video.